Dear viewers, welcome to our channel. Today I am going to discuss about accounts in India by non-resident Indians. So NRI accounts I am going to discuss. This is NRO, NRE and FCNRB deposits. This topic is very useful for promotional exams for all scales and all banks. CAB, BFM, Forex, JIB, Principle and Practice of Banking and Accounts also, and for all scales interviews also, this topic is very useful. The source is RBI frequently asked questions, notification dated 12 to 2020. Now, rupee deposits of non-residents. What type of accounts are there? One is non-resident ordinary deposits. For NRIs, they can open non-resident ordinary deposits, non-resident external deposits. This is in rupees. NRO, NRE, these accounts are in rupees. Foreign currency deposit. NRIs are allowed to open foreign currency deposits, that is FCNRB, foreign currency non-resident external bank deposits. FCNRB, foreign currency non-resident. What is the definition for NRI? NRI definition. A non-resident Indian is an Indian citizen who resides in India for less than 182 days. So, any person who is residing less than 182 days in a preceding financial year, he will be treated as non-resident Indian. That is one definition. Or who has gone out of India. The Indian resident who has gone out of India or who stayed outside India for the purpose of employment. For the purpose of employment, who had gone outside India, stays outside India, he is also treated as NRI. Then, who has gone out of India, who stays outside India for carrying on any business or vacation. So, any business purpose or vacation purpose he had gone outside India, that person also will be treated as a non-resident Indian. Or who has gone out of India or who stays outside India for any other purpose. For any other purpose means employment, other than business or vacation, any other purpose, and his intention to stay outside is uncertain. How long he is going to reside outside India, that is uncertain. So, who has gone out of India or who stays outside India for any other purpose, indicating his intention to stay outside India for an uncertain period. So, these are the four conditions will be treated as NRI. One is less than 182 days residing in India, NRI. Employment purpose, he had gone outside, NRI. We had gone for abroad for carrying business or vacation, NRI. And who has gone outside India for his intention to stay outside India for an uncertain period, that is also part of treated as NRI. Now, one more important word is a person of Indian origin. A person of Indian origin is a person resident outside India. Person of Indian origin is a person resident outside India who is a citizen of any country. He is resident outside India and citizen of any country other than except Bangladesh and Pakistan. Such other country as may be notified by the central government. Means a person of Indian origin means a person resident outside India who is a citizen of outside India, who is a citizen of any country except Bangladesh, Pakistan or any other country as may be noted by central government, satisfying the following four conditions. What are the four conditions? Who was a citizen of India by virtue of the Constitution of India or the Indian Citizenship Act. As per Indian Citizenship Act, he is a citizen of India, or as per Constitution of India, he is a citizen of India. Or who belong to territory that become part of India after 15th August 1947. So, who belong to territory of the Indian part of any part of India, that also will be treated as Indian citizen. Or who is a child, who is a child or grandchild or great grandchild of a citizen of India, means above two, A or B is a citizen of India or child of Indian citizen or grandchild of Indian citizen or great grandchildren of Indian citizen or for a person above. This is the third condition. Fourth condition is who is a spouse of foreign origin of citizen of India. So, citizen of India spouse may belong to foreign origin of India. That is the citizen of India, his spouse may be so of a foreign origin or spouse of foreign origin of a person resident of number 1 A citizen of India who belong to territory any part of India, or child of Indian citizen, grandchild of Indian citizen, great grandchild of Indian citizen. All these four categories will be treated as person of Indian origin for opening of the accounts of NRE, NRO, FCNR. Now coming to this, the accounts in India by non-residents. The following accounts are allowed to open by accounts in India by non-resident Indians, non-residents. Now these are non-resident ordinary, NRO, non-resident ordinary, NRE, non-resident external, NRE, non-resident external, and FCNRB, foreign currency non-resident bank, FCNRB account. These are the three accounts are allowed for opening by non-resident in India. Now one by one we can see who can open these account. Non-resident ordinary account, NRI, just now we have discussed definition, or person of Indian origin. So non-resident ordinary account can be opened by non-resident Indian or person of Indian origin. In all the categories same, NRE same, and FCNRB also same, NRI and person of. Currency of account, NRO account, what is the currency? In which currency they can open? Indian rupees. Currency is Indian rupees. In non-resident external also Indian rupees. FCNRB in the name itself, this is a foreign currency account. The FCNRB account can be opened in all freely convertible foreign currencies. Which currency which can be freely converted into INR? In all the currencies, the FCNRB account can be opened by banks. This is in currency of the account. What are the source of funds for opening of NRO? Source, either from local source or funds from abroad. For opening of this NRO account, funds from local other accounts or funds from abroad. This is for NRO. NRE, inward remittance from abroad. For opening NRE, source of funds from abroad only. Inward remittance from outside India means from abroad only. In FCNRB also, inward remittance from outside India means the remittances from abroad. So for NRE and FCNR accounts opening, funds from abroad, inward remittances from outside India, funds from abroad. This is accounts. Time deposit, minimum and maximum period. Non-resident ordinary accounts, time deposit is as for domestic term deposits. As for domestic term deposits, minimum 7 days, maximum up to 10 years. Bank can open fixed deposits or term deposits. That is for NRO. For NRE, some specific guidelines are there. Minimum 1 year. For NRE, minimum 1 year to 3 years. 1 to 3 years. Banks may go up to 10 years also. Subject to banks are allowed to accept NRE deposit above 3 years. From their ALM point of view, asset liability point of view, they want to take funds, they can take above 3 years and up to 10 years. Normally 1 to 3 years are allowed. If their ALM mismatch permits, they can go up to 10 years. But they cannot take more than 10 years, number 1. Number 2, originally they are given for 3 years, for example. then we can extend for another 7 years only. From the date of original opening, maximum 10 years, including renewal. That question also they are asking in the exams. So maximum any point of time, 1, 2, 3. FCNRB, foreign currency non-resident bank account. This is time deposit. Minimum period is 1 year. For time deposit, we cannot open less than 1 year and we cannot open more than 5 years. So minimum 1 year time deposit, maximum up to 5 years. Then in this 1 year means we can take 360 days in a year. At the time of opening FCNR, we can take 1 year means 360 days. And interest also in this fixed deposits, interest is going to be provided, interest provision for each half year 180 days. 180 days. Half year means 180 days. Year means 360 days. This is the basis for making provision in FCNRB accounts. That is there. Interest rate applicable as applicable to domestic deposits. This is also NRE also same. But FCNRB, these are the guidelines given by broad guidelines. Period 1 to less than 3 years fixed deposit is there. LIBOR or any swap or any external benchmark rate plus 200 basis points. By the end of 2021, LIBOR is going to disappear. That's why any other benchmark rate plus 200 basis points for rate of interest 1 to 3 years. Then 3 to 5 years, LIBOR or any other benchmark rate or swap plus 300 basis points. This is the rate of interest. But one thing please note down, LIBOR is going to disappear from December 2021. So now so many instead of a LIBOR, so many other prime lending rates are going to be coming into picture from December 2021. Okay. So 1 to 3 years LIBOR plus 200 basis points, 3 to 5 years LIBOR plus 300 basis points. This is maximum. Banks can give less than this. Banks are not allowed to give rate of interest more than this. This is the directives. And joint account with close relatives, yes, permitted. NRE accounts, their close relatives, they can open the account with farmer or survivor condition. Or joint account with another NRI, that also permitted, but with condition is farmer or survivor. Farmer or survivor means as long as farmer is alive, survivor role is 0, nil. That's why with farmer or survivor condition. In NRE also same, and FCNR also permitted. This question they are asking in the examination. And repatriation. Repatriation means transfer from this account to his parent, his country where he is residing. That is called repatriation. Transfer from NRO account to back to his home country, this country where he is residing. Per year, under NRO, per year he can allow to transfer US dollar 1 million or equivalent amount per year. He is permitted subject to tax deducted at source. On these accounts, whatever the applicable rate of interest, on that rate of interest amount, the bank has to deduct TDS. And along with their other eligible assets. Then we can discuss this the next slide. So from this account, he can allow to repatriate maximum $1 million per year, subject to payment of TDS, tax deducted at source. NRE accounts, no cap for repatriation. Whatever the balances are there, freely permitted. This is also freely permitted. In this case, FCNRB account, foreign exchange risk or exchange currency risk has to be borne by the bank. Risk has to be borne by the bank in FCNRB accounts. Tax benefits. In NRE, tax TDS is exempted. In FCNRB, TDS is exempted. But whereas in NRO, TDS is applicable as per Income Tax Act. 1. If the particular NR non-resident is residing in a DTAA, double tax avoidance agreement country. Now, almost India has entered into DTAA, double tax avoidance agreement with 88 countries as of date, around 88 countries. So any NRI residing in these countries, 88 countries, where India has entered into agreement, for that whatever the DTAA, double taxation avoidance agreement, whatever the tax rate is there, that tax rate you have to deduct. Where the countries which are not comes under DTAA agreement, as for TDS, as for our Indian Income Tax Act, TDS you have to deduct. That is the tax benefits. Loan in India, outside India, against deposits. Normally, this is fully permitted. NRE, free rupee loans. We can give foreign currency loans to be allowed to depositor and third party without any ceiling. Earlier, there is some ceiling is there. Presently, there is no ceiling for loan against FC and NRE deposit either in free rupee loans or foreign currency loans without any ceiling, subject to margin requirement as per bank, individual banks. Same manner, here FCNRB also, we can give rupee loans, FC loans, foreign currency loans to be allowed to depositor or to third party also without any ceiling, subject to margin requirements of individual banks. Normally, these are the points which they are asking in the examination. Sometimes they are asking case study for CAB, BFM paper. JIB, 1 or 2 questions they are asking in principle and practice of banking, 1 or 2 questions they are asking in accountancy paper also. In the promotion examinations, all banks in all scales, 0 to 1 to 5 to 6, scale 5 to 6 exam also, they are asking 1, 2 or 3 questions on this slide. So this slide is very, very important. My request to all, please read, please listen the entire slide whenever you want a requirement. Now, this question they had asked in December 2020 examination in BFM paper. What is the question? This question was, these guidelines are 3rd May 2000 guidelines, RBI guidelines, 3rd May 2000. When they had asked the question, examination question, December 2020. So, it is the foreign exchange is a very wide syllabus. Authorized dealers or authorized banks may, at their discretion, commercial judgment. So, based on a discretion, they can allow for a period of not more than 2 weeks. So, AD, authorized dealers are allowed not more than 2 weeks overdrafts or overdrawings in NRE savings account up to a limit of 50,000. So, up to 2 weeks, 50,000, these authorized dealers are allowed to give temporary overdraft in NRE accounts. Subject to that overdrawings along with interest, this is interest payable. Interest payable are cleared within a sad period of 2 weeks. So we can give 2 weeks, within the 2 weeks, they have to repay back the 50,000 plus interest. From what is the source for the repayment? From any inward remittances outside, from normal banking salon, or by transfer of funds from other NRE and FCNR accounts. So whatever we are giving loan, temporary overdraft NRE savings account, maximum we can give 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, party had to pay the 50,000 plus interest from abroad, remittances from abroad, or by transfer of funds from other NRE FCN. So my request to all, you please see, the circular is 2000, examination is 2020, means old circular question they are asked. So the members, participants has to clearly read this. Now, repatriation of sale proceeds of immobile properties by NRIs. So NRIs are having immobile properties in India. How much they can take back from the immobile properties? This is the very, very useful information for promotion examinations and JIB. JIB also. The amount to be repatriated does not exceed from the sale of proceeds of fixed immobile property. That is the meaning. The amount to be repatriated does not exceed. First, the amount paid for acquisition of the immobile property in foreign currency received through normal banking channel. At the time of purchase of this immobile property, whatever the amount transferred and received to within India, that amount paid or amount received at the time of purchase of this property from normal banking channels from outside India, or the amount paid out of the funds held in foreign currency non-resident account, FCNRB account. Suppose party is having FCNRB account. From that account also he can purchase the immobile property, or from the balance in non-resident NRE account, the balance in non-resident external account for acquisition of property. So the amount of funds out of funds paid from FCNRB accounts or NRE accounts, whatever the amount he had paid, does not exceed, please listen, does not exceed amount received from outside India or amount transferred from FCNRB or NRE account at the time of purchase. That is one point. Second point, in the case of residential property, this is for other properties. In the case of residential property, the repatriation of sale process is restricted to maximum two such properties. So residential property, residential houses party is having, okay, yes, it is allowed maximum two properties. This question also they are asking. In case of residential property NRI is having, how many process repatriation of sale process is restricted in how many such properties? Answer is 2. So residential property, 2 such properties you can repatriate. Amount received from abroad for purchase of this property from normal channel, or amount paid from FCNRB and NRE accounts. So that's not, this amount does not exceed this point. Number 2, for residential properties, sale process is repatriated up to 2 such profits. These are the brief and small presentation for today, which is very useful for examinations of promotional exams, JAB, CAB, and for interview also. Thank you very much, viewers, for extending support to our channel. Thank you very much for all.